Good morning, sir. Could I please have your name and date of birth?
Eric Naylor.
Thank you. You are here today on a new charge. Theft of means of transportation, Class 3 felony. We have found probable cause in your case. Your next court dates are November 13th, 2024, and November 15th at the Downtown Superior Court. You are going to be held non-bondable in your case. You'll be transported to your court dates on November 13th and November 15th. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Javier Garcia to the podium. Jeremy Fry to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth?
Xavier Garcia.
Thank you. Sorry, I mispronounced your first name. You are here today on two matters. You have a new case and a matter ending, you have a new case, and you're also here on a probation violation matter. In your new case, probable cause has been found. Your new case involves narcotic drugs possession or use, Class 4 felony, drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th of this year at the Downtown Superior Court. And as to your probation matter, you're here on a bench warrant. From a previous case, your next dates are again November 13th and November 15th on that case as well. You are going to be held on your bench warrant in an amount of $250. But you are going to be held non-bondable on your new case, and so you will be please do not post that $250 bond. That bond was put in place so you get credit for the time that you are in custody. Do you have any questions? Thank you. Please step to the left for your paperwork. Jeremy Fry to the podium, and Porfirio Carnero to the chair, please. Morning, sir. Could you please have your name and date of birth?
Jeremy Fry.
Thank you. You are here on a new case today. You were charged with aggravated assault and domestic violence offense, Class 4 felony. We have found probable cause in your matter. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th at Downtown Superior Court. As to your release conditions, I am setting a secured appearance bond of $25,000. If you are released, you will be released to under the supervision of pretrial services. You will be placed on an ankle monitor before you are released. You will also be subject to a curfew during that time as well. Your other conditions, which will be included in your paperwork, these are not all your conditions. You will have no contact with any victim or witness in this case or with the arresting officers, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or consume any alcohol without a valid prescription, and you shall not drive without a valid driver's license. You must obey terms of any orders of protection or orders against harassment that have been issued against you. And you may not reside with the alleged victim, even if you are the owner or renter of the property. You are allowed one civil standby with local law enforcement to return to the residence to collect your essential belongings. You are cautioned that a violation of a no victim contact order in a criminal case may constitute aggravated harassment, Class 6 felony under Arizona law. Do you understand what I've told you?
Yes.
Do you have any questions, sir?
If I can't post that bond or whatever, is there a way of doing that without, because I don't have any money?
So I
also don't have any other place to stay either.
So I am setting that bond, at least with the information that I've been given. I'm going to keep that bond in place. It is secured appearance, though, and so you'll have access to some telephone numbers for a bonding company. Every bonding company is different. It's typically about 10% plus collateral, but every bonding company is different. So you have to call around and ask what they're going to. So you won't be, if a bonding company takes you, it won't be the full $25,000. But as it stands now, you'll be staying in custody. But if you do get released, or if you do bond out, and you don't have another place to stay, I'm sorry, you're going to have to find different accommodations. But you cannot return to the scene of the crime and have contact with the victim in this case. Any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Please get your paperwork on your left. Mr. Carnero to the podium, and Adrian Herman to the stand, to the chair. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Good morning. Porfirio Carnero.
Thank you very much. You are here on two matters. You are here on a new case, and you are here on a municipal court warrant. First, your new case. You are facing charges of trafficking in stolen property in the first degree, Class 2 felony, burglary, a Class 3 felony, dangerous drug possession, dangerous drugs, possession or use, Class 4, theft of a credit card, Class 5 felony, burglary, possession of burglary tools, Class 6, fraudulent use of a credit card, Class 6 felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony. I have found probable cause in all of these matters. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the Downtown Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond in this case of $15,000. Your other conditions, these are not all your conditions. Please check your paperwork. You will have no contact with any victims or witnesses in this case, or with the arresting officers, not to possess any weapons, drugs, or alcohol without a valid prescription, and you are to continue to provide the court with proof of your local address.
Okay.
As to your municipal court case, I am setting a secured appearance bond in that case of $735.30. And that's with the Buckeye Municipal Court. In that case as well, same conditions, no return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any victims or witnesses or arresting officers, and again, no possession of any weapons and no consumption of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And your next court date is November 13th in the Buckeye Municipal Court. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I do. But there's no way I could get out on pretrial services. I got my kid down.
So, given the fact that you have two cases, and given the circumstances of the case that I have written, I am not inclined to change that at this time, and so the bond will remain at $15,000. And that's secured appearance. And so,
what does that mean?
Secured appearance means you can use a bonding company, and so typically you'll have access to bonding companies' numbers. Everyone's a little bit different, but it's typically around 10% plus collateral. But you gotta talk to each bonding company.
Yeah, because that warrant they have out of Buckeye, that's an old warrant. They when I went to court there, they had told me that they were gonna dismiss it and stuff. And then I got pulled over once, and they told me that that warrant popped up on me. So they looked it up. They looked it up, and they said that they didn't want me over there after all. That I don't know how it popped up again.
So I can't speak to that, as I don't work for the city courts, and so that you'll have to work out on your own with the city court. And so I'm sorry, I can't answer any questions about your city court.
Okay, so I got court for both days. I mean, how am I going to be? So I got court for both of those on the 13th. You said? How am I going to be on both places at one time?
Yeah, and so they will transport you to the municipal court.
There, but then I got court here on the 13th also.
If you remain in custody, you will be transported.
You have to call Buckeye. Call Buckeye when you get into the jail.
Okay, so no, but he said I got court the 15th and the 13th, right? For my new charges.
You have court on the 13th in Buckeye and court on the 13th at Superior Court. So call Buckeye when you get over to the facility. You'll have a tablet. You call Buckeye.
Oh, okay, we got tablets there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No, appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Please step to your left for your paperwork.
Say your name and date of birth.
Adrian Dillon.
Thank you. Sorry, I was mispronouncing your last name. You're hearing two matters today. In your first matter, it's a new case. You're facing a charge of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, a Class 3 felony. I have found probable cause in that matter. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in downtown Superior Court. I am holding you on a $50,000 cash-only bond in that matter. You're also here on a probation violation matter. In that case, your next court dates are on November 13th in the downtown Superior Court. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me?
Nope.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Urbano Gastello to the podium, and Mark Morris to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth?
That'd be Costello.
Thank you. You are here on a new matter. You're facing burglary in the second degree, Class 3 felony, and criminal trespass in the second degree, a Class 2 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause in both of those matters. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the downtown Superior Court. At this time, I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $10,000. You're not, in terms of your other conditions, if you are released, you're not to have any contact with the alleged victims or witnesses in this case, or with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons, no consumption of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Do you understand everything that I told you?
What was the original charge? I'm sorry, you're speaking.
Sure. Burglary in the second degree and criminal trespass.
Burglary in second degree, was that, well, within the initial report you read, was that a violent or was it an incoherent individual? Because I'm recollecting, this is the first time I'm hearing burglary and all that.
Sure, I'm sorry, what's your question?
Was it a violent report or was it like an incoherent individual that was on the report?
So the owners of the residence are the ones who reported this incident and found you in their home.
Okay, but the readings of the report.
I don't understand what you're saying.
You said you found probable cause?
Sure. Probable cause is a legal standard for me for a case to continue. It's a very low standard. And so given the facts that I've been given in this case, I am finding that there is probable cause to hold you on burglary in the second degree and criminal trespass at this time.
Okay, well, on the count sheet, I'm asking for either supervised release or as well as even just cut straight to the point, IPS or some sort, because at this given time of life, the mother of my child, she's going to be having a baby within any given week or this month. Not to state that the actions of the individual, inflicts on it, but also me really recollecting everything, my past history. Yes, I did extended amount of time and everything, but I'm just asking the courts to grant a little courtesy upon the time, because I'm not within a violent.
Yeah, Mr. Costello, I understand your situation. I appreciate it, but given your criminal history and given the facts that I have here, IPS, that's a probation thing, so you're not at that stage yet. So
okay.
I can't give you IPS.
Pre-trial?
No, at this time, I'm not placing on pretrial services, given the information that I have. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
So pre-trial service would be out of the question?
Yeah, I'm sorry, not today. And so it'll be a $10,000 secured appearance bond. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I have 3 questions. There are 2 individuals within the back of you. May I have the court's names of those individuals?
Yeah, Mr. Costello, then now isn't the time for that. We're just here to determine whether there's PC and to set your bond, and if there is going to be a bond. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Do you have any other questions about this particular case?
Within this case and those who are in the court, I asked the names of the individuals within the court.
Yeah.
With the lawyer?
Yeah. Go ahead and talk to your lawyer about this case. Yeah. please grab your paperwork on the left. Thank you. Mark Morris to the podium, please, and Shalea Talk to the chair. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth?
Mark Anthony Morris.
Thank you. You are here on a Superior Court bench warrant. I am appointing counsel, and your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th before the Downtown Superior Court. I am going to be setting a bond in this case of $2,500 secured. You'll have some conditions if you are released, but these are not all your conditions. Please do not return to the scene of the crime. No contact with the alleged victim or witnesses in this case, or with the arresting officers. You're not to possess any weapons, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And most importantly, please contact if you are released, please contact your probation officer within 72 hours of your release. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yes.
And do you have any questions?
Yeah, real quick, Your Honor. This is a mistake, honestly. I don't know how I can get y'all the document, but there was an email where they told me that the court date for yesterday was postponed till November 7th. So when the police pulled up on me and started handcuffing me and arresting me, talking about I had a bench warrant that just came out, kind of shocked me. I had my ankle monitor on. I just talked to my pretrial service officer and all of that.
So this warrant was issued back on November 5th. So if you have any questions, talk to your lawyer. Hopefully they can sort it out. But at this time, I will be affirming the $2,500 secured appearance bond. Any other questions?
No.
Please step to your left. Thank you. Shalea Talk to the podium, and Isaac Bafford to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Shalea Talk.
Thank you very much. You're here today on two matters. You have a new case, and you are here also on a probation violation warrant. In your new case, you are facing two charges: narcotic drug use or possession, Class 4 felony, and dangerous drugs possession or use, a Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause in both of those matters. And I am appointing you counsel. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the Downtown Superior Court. In this case, I'm going to send a secured appearance bond of $50. As to your probation warrant, your next court date is November 13th in the Downtown Superior Court. In that case, I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $2,000. As to your conditions, in that case, you're not to possess any weapons, no drugs or alcohol consumption without a valid prescription, and if you are released, please report to your probation officer within 72 hours. Those same conditions apply on your new case. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Isaac Bafford to the podium, and Azli Makbul to the chair, please. Morning, sir. Could you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Isaac Bafford.
Thank you very much. You're here today on two matters. You have a new case, and you're here on a probation violation, a probation warrant. On your probation matter, your next court, I am assigning counsel in both of your matters. Your next court date is November 13th. Setting a secured appearance bond of $1,000 as to your probation matter. You're not to have contact with the arresting officers, no possession of weapons, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. If you are released, please report to your probation officer within 72 hours. As to your new case, you are facing three charges: narcotic drug possession and use, a Class 4 felony, aggravated assault, a Class 5 felony, and resisting arrest, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause in all three of those matters. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th. In this matter, I'm setting a $50 secured appearance bond. If you are released, please do not return to the scene of the crime. No contact with the alleged victims or witnesses or arresting officers. And also, no weapons, then no possession of drugs or alcohol, without a valid prescription. And also, again, if you are released, please report to your probation officer within 72 hours. Do you understand everything that I told you? Any questions? Thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Osley Makbul to the podium and Danielle Cardenas to the chair. Good morning. Could you please state for the record your name and your date of birth?
Osley Ahmed Makbul.
Thank you. You are here on two matters today. You have a new case, and you are also here on a Justice Court warrant. As to the Justice Court matter out of the South Mountain Justice Court, I am appointing you counsel for both matters. Your next court date is November 8th, again, before the South Mountain Justice Court. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in that matter of $300. As to your new case, you're facing two charges: dangerous drugs, possession or use, a Class 4 felony, and narcotic drugs, possession or use, a Class 4 felony. I have found probable cause in both of those matters. Your next court dates there are November 13th and November 15th in the Downtown Superior Court. I'm setting a secured appearance bond in this case for $500. If you are released, you're going to be released to pretrial services. You're going to have no contact with the arresting officers or with any of your co-defendants. You're not to possess any weapons, no possession or use of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Do you understand everything that I told you?
So when I get released to pretrial services, what is that like? What
So
are
that's if you can post your bond. So your total secured appearance bond, it looks like is $800 secured for both your matters. So if you're able to post that, then you'll have to report to pretrial services.
Okay, and my first case, the Maricopa one, this was from a case when I was like 18 years old, and it's been like 8 years, and I don't even drink alcohol anymore, and I don't know why I keep getting confused with this case. Like, I just want it to be like over with. So like, it's been over 8 years. I don't even.
So that's a question for your attorney. If you want to get that resolved, please talk to your attorney so you can get that case resolved. Any other questions? No. Thank you. Daniel Cardenas to the podium and Ronnie Shamoon to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth?
Daniel Cardenas, 0.
Thank you. You're here on two matters today. You're here on a probation violation warrant and a new case. I'm assigning you counsel in both of your matters. Excuse me. On your new case, you're facing two charges: narcotic drug possession and use, a Class 4 felony, and prescription drug possession and use, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause in both of those matters. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th at the Downtown Superior Court. And in your new case, I'm holding you on a $50 secured appearance bond. As to your probation violation warrant, your next court date is November 13th at the Downtown Superior Court, holding you there on a $500 secured appearance bond. You're not to have any contact with the arresting officers if you're released. No, you're not to possess any weapons, not to possess or consume drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And if you are released, please report to your probation officer within 72 hours. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. If you're good, please go to your left, and their paperwork is there ready for you. Ronnie Shamoon to the podium and John Fuerte to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth?
Ronnie Shamoon.
Thank you. You're here in two matters today. You have a new case, and you're here on a probation. Violation warrant. As to your probation violation, your next court date, I'm assigning you counsel in both of your matters. Your next court date is November 13th for your probation violation. I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $250. As to your new matter, You're facing 2 charges: dangerous drugs, possession and use, a Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, possession. I have found probable cause in both of those, for both of those charges. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the Downtown Superior Court. In this case, I'm setting a $50 secured appearance bond for a total of $300 secured. You're not to possess any weapons, if you are released, not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no contact with the arresting officers. You are also to report to your probation officer within 72 hours if you are released. Do you understand everything that I told you?
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me?
What do I do now? What's going to happen now?
So you're going to, until you can post that secured appearance bond of $300, you're going to remain in custody.
So I have to be in custody.
Unless you can post that secured appearance bond, yes.
Okay. Sir, I don't understand. Well, he didn't. I sat there for 5 minutes, and then there was another person there, and no, he said that it was mine. It was nothing mine. Nothing was on me, sir.
Gotcha. And so just understand that this is stuff that you should be talking about with your lawyer as
Right.
a form of defense. But at this time, I am going to keep in place for your 2 matters the $300 secured appearance.
Okay.
Any other questions?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. John Fuerte to the podium, and Chance Tuntlin to the chair, please. Good morning. Could you please state your name and your date of birth for the record?
John Forte, 12.
You're here on a new case today. You are facing 2 charges: dangerous drug possession or use, a Class 4 felony, and assault, a Class 1 misdemeanor. I have found probable cause for those charges. I am assigning you counsel. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the Downtown Superior Court. I am setting a secured appearance bond of $500. If you are able to post that bond, you are to be released to pretrial services. Other conditions of your release: if you are released, no return to the scene of the crime, no contact with the alleged victim or witnesses in this case, no contact with the arresting officers, not to possess any weapons, and no possession or consumption of drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Do you understand everything that I did?
Yeah, can I approach the podium?
No, I'm sorry. You can just ask me from there.
Can I say something?
It's
about the case.
Sure, and just be aware that anything that you say in the courtroom can be used against you.
I was supposed to speak with people about things. They were supposed to come at 5 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
And they were supposed to. There's no notes. Isn't there any notes?
No, there are no notes that I have here. So all I have was 1 second. Yeah, no, I have no notes here, and so this is something that is totally between you and your lawyer.
Right. I'm sorry. But I was going to ask. I'm really sick. I was given a 1.5 years to live for my. I don't understand how. It's been 2 years. I'm beating it. It's diabetes, out of control diabetes. Stress. I mean, I went to the hospital before I came here. That's how bad it is. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just asking maybe $150. I got $150, and I can bond out with $150. I have one failure to appear in my life, and that was because I had mistaken dates, March and May, and that was the only reason. So if I can have it, so I can get home, because I'm sick. I'm a sick man.
So, sir, I'm checking your failure to appear history. You have more than that one failure to appear in your past, and
I should only have one.
So that's not what I'm showing.
What's the other ones?
And they're older, but so I'm showing 3 total. And your bond amount, I'm sorry, it's $500. It's $500 secured. It's $500 secured. So if you can use, if a bonding company is willing to work,
what can do something?
That's 10%. That's 10% plus collateral, and so you have to talk about that with the bonding company.
But
every bonding company is different, so you got to work it out with them.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you. Please step to your left. Chance Tuntlin to the podium, please, and Felix Perez to the chair. Morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
My name is Chance Tuntlin.
Thank you. You're here on an arrest warrant out of the Superior Court. I'm going to appoint you counsel. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the downtown Superior Court. This is regarding trafficking and stolen property in the second degree. Today, I am going to let you out on your own recognizance, but you do have some conditions. These are not all your conditions. No return to the scene of the crime, no contact with any alleged victim or witnesses, no contact with the arresting officers, not to possess any weapons, and not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Yes, sir.
Do you, and so I'm letting you out on your own recognizance so long as you promise to appear. Do you promise to appear for your November 13th and November 15th court dates?
Yes, I promise to appear.
Okay, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork. Felix Perez, to the podium, please. Morning. Could you please state your name and date of birth for the record?
Felix Perez.
Thank you. You're here on a new case. You have been charged with unlawful flight from law enforcement, a Class 5 felony. I am appointing you counsel in this matter. I have found probable cause. Your next court dates are November 13th and November 15th in the downtown Superior Court. I'm going to release you today under the supervision of pretrial services, so long as you promise to appear for your November court dates. Do you promise to appear on November 13th and November 15th?
Yes, sir.
So again, you'll be released to pretrial services with some conditions. These are not all your conditions. No contact with the arresting officers, no possession of weapons, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Do you understand everything that I told you?
If you could repeat the first part again.
Your charges?
Yes, sir.
You're charged with unlawful flight from law enforcement, Class 5 felony. Any other questions?
Not really, boss.
Okay, thank you. Please step to your left for your paperwork.
Thank you, boss.